ABC 10 News starts now with breaking news.
One person has died after being stuck in a trench filled with water at the border. Good evening. I'm Kimberly Hunt.
And I'm Steve Atkinson. 8 people had to be rescued. Let's get right out to our ABC 10 News reporter Anthony Pura with the very latest from San Ysidro. Anthony.
And that water rescue happened about a mile east of where we are. We are on Rail Court near East San Ysidro Boulevard, and in the past 30 minutes or so, the scene has started to wind down a little bit. But I do want to show you some video from just a few moments ago. You can see it was a very different scene here, much busier. Now, we did have a chance to speak with San Diego Fire Rescue. They say this all started around 4:15. Now, they had a call about several people stuck in a trench that needed rescuing. 8 total people were rescued. One of them has died, is what we are being told right now. 4 people were handed over to Border Patrol, and 3 people are at the hospital currently. Now, it's unclear what they were doing in the water, but Fire Rescue says that they were swept up by the heavy rains from earlier today. So again, this is a developing story, and we will bring you more information as soon as it becomes available. We're reporting live tonight from San Ysidro. Anthony Pura, ABC 10 News.
Hail in Hillcrest, the type of cold, wet weather seen across the county today. As the storm exits our region, meteorologist Leah Pizzetti looks at the big impact it had everywhere.
With this atmospheric river moving into the region Thursday night and into Friday, we've seen everything in San Diego County from flooding to rain to hail. It's a sound that's familiar to this area. The San Diego River flooding roads leading to Fashion Valley Mall, closing this street Friday. Another area used to seeing rising waters when it rains at the Tijuana River.
Water's contaminated. You got tons of garbage, debris coming from Mexico and Tijuana River Valley.
The sounds of a helicopter joined the rushing water Friday when Fire and Rescue noticed a man hiding in the bushes.
Looked like he was struggling in the water and then was able to get himself out and then kept on walking.
After calling Border Patrol, a lifeguard rappelled over this bridge to get to the man, who was unarmed and open to help, pulling him to safety. In Imperial Beach, streets flooding quickly overnight as heavy rain moved into the region. Pockets of rain continuing through the day Friday, even bringing hail to places like Tierra Santa and heavy hail in Hillcrest, with thunderstorms booming in the distance as well. And even as this rain exits the region Friday evening, you still want to be careful. If you come across any flooded roadways, don't try to cross it. You're going to want to find an alternative route. Leah Pizzetti, ABC 10 News.
That rain has mostly moved out tonight. Our meteorologist Angelica Campos joins us with a look at some of those rain totals tonight. Angelica.
Hi, Steve. Let's take a look at what's actually happening right now, and I'll show you those numbers also in a second. You can see just a few leftover showers, but for the most part, the brunt of the rain has moved out of the area. In total, we got about 1.5 inches in Oceanside, almost that much in Fallbrook and Santee. In Point Loma, also 1.31, so just over 1.25 inches. In San Diego, close to 1 inch. And before this storm, we still needed over 3 inches to catch up to what is average for as far as rain total. So we're still behind, but we're at least making some improvement. In Chula Vista at 0.89. And as we look at the big picture here and the storm moves away, there's still some influx of moisture, which is going to bring some scattered showers, but they should be much lighter in nature. Also looking better this weekend. We'll have much more in your 7-day forecast.
And an Oceanside man has reportedly died after being found buried in the snow at Mammoth Mountain. According to KTLA, the skier was found upside down in deep snow today. Efforts to revive him were unsuccessful. His name is not being released, but he is described as a 52-year-old from Oceanside. Turning now to the coronavirus and more hopeful signs in our latest numbers. There were 1,600 new cases today, but our test positivity rate dropped to 6%. Another 37 San Diegans lost their lives to COVID, bringing that number to well over 2,500. The county will launch its 3rd vaccination superstation this Sunday, this time in the North County. It'll be set up at the Campus Sports Center at Cal State San Marcos. Appointments are required. This is a walk-up rather than a drive-through location,
and weather won't be a factor since it's indoors. The whole thing came together quickly.
We literally made the decision less than a week ago. And so it's taken a lot of folks, but it's great. It's a lot of fun to be able to work together to make something as important as this come to life.
Next week, the county hopes to open a 4th superstation in the East County, somewhere off the 8 freeway. The exact date and location are still being worked out.
Hundreds of Marines and sailors got the vaccine today at MCAS Miramar. ABC 10 News reporter Cassie Carlisle went on base and tells us who's eligible to get the shot.
Here at 3rd Marine Aircraft Wing, they have 800 Pfizer COVID-19 vaccines, and Marines and sailors are coming in today voluntarily to get their shot.
Very exciting, it really is. And it wraps around the building for that matter, of course socially distanced.
The first shot was administered on base 2 weeks ago. Friday, Marine Corps Air Station Miramar was a hub for hundreds of Marines and sailors waiting in line for their chance to get vaccinated.
Any drug allergies?
No.
All right.
Every dose is carefully reserved.
The shots are reserved for the 21 days out. We'll have a date set, so all the individuals that are here are going to receive a card with a notice to return in 21 days to receive their second shot.
Among those getting vaccinated are the Blue Angels, who are training in San Diego.
I feel great. I am very, very, very thankful to have received the vaccine. I had no negative side effects, and I feel fantastic, ready to get back out there.
Deploying members of the military are part of Phase 1B in the vaccine rollout. There isn't any word on when or if the vaccine could become mandatory. Captain Alfred Schwayhat is proud so many of his fellow service members are taking advantage of this opportunity.
We all go home. We are with our families, we're with the community members, we're at the hospitals in my case for that matter. So if we're protecting ourselves, we're protecting the community at large as well.
Continuing their mission to protect Americans. Cassie Carlisle, ABC 10 News.
We know there are a lot of questions and different experiences with the vaccine rollout. Our ABC 10 News in-depth team is committed to tracking down answers and sharing your stories. Just send us an email at tips@10news.com.
A new lifeline for renters who are worried about eviction during the pandemic. Today, Governor Newsom extended the state's ban on evictions through June 30th. As part of that protection, California lawmakers agreed to use $2.6 billion in federal stimulus money to pay up to 80% of some tenants' unpaid rent. However, that only applies if your landlords agree to forgive the other 20%.
Local student athletes and coaches are fighting for the return of youth sports. They held a rally this afternoon outside the county administration building. It was one of 16 held in cities across the state. They want leaders to reopen high school sports, which have been shut down since last March. This comes as 2 San Diego area high school students are suing the state and county over the restrictions. They argue the 47 other states allowing youth sports have not seen an increase in COVID transmissions or hospitalizations. We talked to one student athlete not part of the suit.
My biggest fear is that, as a senior, I'm going to walk away from something that I don't feel like is finished.
There is currently no word on when the state will allow youth sports to return.
The EDD says it has processed nearly all 1.6 million claims backlogged since September. But as our ABC 10 News reporter John Horn explains, the frustration isn't close to ending for hundreds of thousands more.
It was such a good balance.
Victoria Loggy lost her job at Lucadia's Valentina restaurant when the shutdown order took effect. Nearly 2 months later, she still hasn't received a penny in unemployment from the state.
I'm a pretty patient, optimistic person. And so when I know I'm getting impatient, I'm like, there's an issue here.
Loggy's part-time job helped while she studies for a doctorate in Chinese medicine. Now, she's got no income to supplement her student loans.
I'm starting to dip into those loans for living costs. Yes, I live with my mom, but I still have living costs. I have books, food, car, all those kind of things.
So the EDD's announcement this week that it has processed 99.9% of its backlogged unemployment claims may have come as a surprise, because hers wasn't one of them.
I think I literally made 40 calls in a row one day because I was just like, maybe I'll just try.
Loggy is one of roughly 1 million Californians still needing to confirm their identities with the EDD. She had to submit extra paper documentation because she moved to California last year. She finally reached an EDD rep Thursday who promised her a phone interview in the next week or two to certify.
I guess I'm going to have to carry my phone around and leave it on vibrate or something when I'm in a place where I shouldn't have my phone.
The worker warned her, however, to not miss the call when it comes. John Horn, ABC 10 News.
It's a lot of pressure. The EDD says it has now processed more than 19 million claims during the pandemic. That's more than 5 times the amount it did back in 2010 at the height of the Great Recession.